Hi guys, welcome to another video in the Getting into MBA College series. I am Chhavi Gupta, I am an IIT Delhi and IIM Ahmedabad alum, and I was also the CAT 100 percentiler in 2017. For today's video, I have for you kind of a replica of my own IIM Ahmedabad interview. I've kind of almost used the entire same transcript that I had noted down just right after the interview. So I hope that you learn quite a bit from this interview. This interview is kind of how it happened exactly. After the interview plays out, I will also tell you what are the key takeaways from the interview, what are the things that you should learn out of this, and how it can help you in your own preparation and in your own MBA college interviews. So just let's get into the interview and definitely look at the end to identify the insights that are there. Let's go. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chhavi. Have a seat. So you've done your BTech in biotechnology, right? So can you tell us a bit more about biotechnology?
So biotechnology is a field which uses bacteria to help out in many different cases. It consists of several fields, like for example, there's plant cell technology. So we get important biochemical compounds from plants. In this, we grow plants inside the lab and improve their growth and the biochemical compound production.
So what is a bacteria? Are all bacteria harmful to us?
Bacteria is a unicellular or multicellular microorganism. There are many bacteria, some are even present in our body, and of course then not all are harmful because they are present in our gut and they help us as well.
So how do bacteria operate in our body? Is there a specific structure that is followed, or does it depend on different bacteria?
So microorganisms in all, whenever they enter our body, if it is a new bacteria or microorganism, our body creates antibodies against it to prevent from any harmful effect that it might have.
What does penicillin do? What diseases does it cure?
So it is an antibiotic which works against many bacteria.
Yeah, right. But what disease does it cure?
I am not aware about that, sir.
Do you know who discovered it?
Alexander Fleming.
So biotechnology is more like a combination of biology and technology. Can you explain a bit more about it?
So as I was saying, I did a project in which I grew some plant cells in lab and cultured them. So we had these plant cells and there were hairy roots grown out of them, which are kind of artificially grown roots. And I had to culture the same, and by changing some parameters like frequency of media addition, had to optimize and increase their plant growth.
What do you mean by plant growth in this case? How will you measure it?
The rate of cell mass that is growing as compared to the natural growth in natural environments.
So these genetically modified crops that we hear about, so are they also a part of biotechnology?
Yes, sir, they are.
So can Basmati, or has Basmati been genetically modified and different strains grown?
It can be modified. I guess it has been.
No, don't guess. Anyone can make that guess. What is one company that does this genetic modification work?
Biocon does quite a bit of biotechnology work.
Okay. Have you heard about Monsanto?
No, sir.
Oh, so you haven't heard about it. So, Chhavi, seems like you've lost touch with biotechnology after studying it for so long, and you've shifted to something that has nothing to do with biotechnology. So, what are you currently doing at Opera?
I am a business analyst. I have to interact with the client, understand their problem, understand what kind of solution they want, then work with my team, make a solution hypothesis, work with the analytics team to see if it is feasible in the required time frame. And once the solution is out, I understand it, draw insights, and then show and present it to the client.
So how did you shift from biotech to data analytics field?
I was always good at problem solving, and hence I took science and maths in school and chose IITD post that, where apart from academics, I was also part of the placement cell, annual cultural fest, organizational team. I've also worked in a few startups, NGO, etc. So through these years, I got to know that I've got good managerial skills, and I decided to pursue a career in this field, and that is when I chose Opera Solutions.
But how can you work on a solution if you don't work on the data?
So I don't do actual coding, but at IITD, I've also done a minor degree in computer science, and I do understand how it works.
Doing a few courses in computer science is not the answer to it. I mean, how do you find solutions without working on data? I mean, you sound like a data person, but you don't work on data.
No, while doing those courses, I also understood the overall algorithm and how the problem solving works. And also it is like I look at data and I understand the parameters and see which are relevant from a business point of view.
So please tell me, like, what do firms like yours exactly do?
They use data to derive insights and build a solution that is backed up with proof using the data.
Okay, what are some disadvantages of finding solutions with data?
It has some problems in identifying behavior of outliers. For example, I'm currently working with the income tax department on data analysis. So like if there are a few taxpayers of similar profile and they pay X amount of tax, a taxpayer of a similar profile is expected to pay similar taxes. But if he is paying less, then that will be flagged. However, it is very easily possible that there's nothing wrong in that.
So that is not a disadvantage. I mean, it is giving you something out of line. So that is okay. That tells us that there is no trend. That is not a disadvantage or data analytics. Tell me a disadvantage.
I think if the data is not standardized or if the sample set is very small, we might not get the desired results.
But these are the things that you already know about. Give me a disadvantage where you think that the data is fine and you run it, but lo behold, the solution is not what the client expected.
I actually can't think of anything like that right now.
Have you heard of spurious correlation?
So correlation is basically some linkages or relations between several variables and parameters.
That is correlation. What is spurious correlation?
I don't know about that, sir.
Okay, so let's move on. Tell me some of your hobbies.
I like reading a lot. I also write a bit on Quora.
What is Quora?
It's a question and answer platform wherein people ask a lot of different questions. And it is like very knowledgeable. Like there was a question about bullet trains and Mr. Piyush Goyal had written an answer to it.
Okay, so how many followers do you have on Quora?
So 5,000.
Oh, you have 5,000 followers. How do you get followers?
So I think they like the answers that I have written.
What all have you written about?
Mostly about my life experiences, like I went to intern at Cambridge, so I've written an answer about that and some more about some preparation tips, etc.
Okay, Chhavi, seems like you're a through and through Delhi-ite, huh?
So I'm natively from Jaipur, but yes, I have stayed in Delhi for the past 15 years or so. So yes, I consider myself to be a Delhi-ite.
Yes, so you've done your schooling from here, your college here, your job is also in Noida. So what is India to you? Like, is it just Delhi or more than that?
No sir, India is definitely a lot more than Delhi.
So what other places have you visited? And tell me some significant places, not nearby ones.
So I have visited Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh, Leh Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Kanyakumari. I mean, my parents really like to travel a lot, so we have kind of been to almost all the places in India.
So Andaman and Nicobar, you mean Port Blair. What are other cities in Andaman and Nicobar?
I mean, there are towns like Havelock.
That is not a town, that is an island. So you've been to Tawang. Tell me something more about Tawang, something about its history, significance, anything.
Sir, it is very close to the China border.
So is Leh in Ladakh.
Yes, sir, but China claims it to be part of their territory.
Yes, but that is for the whole of Arunachal Pradesh. What is special about Tawang? What all did you visit there?
Madhuri Lake and yeah.
Oh, okay, Chhavi. That'll be all.
Thank you. Good day, sir. So, as you might have seen, I was asked majorly two types of questions. One was kind of about my background, about my educational background, about my work experience, what I exactly did, and they wanted to know it kind of in a summary. So, what exactly is biotechnology? What exactly is your role in your job, etc. The other part was more like personal questions. For example, what do I do separately apart from the job, etc.? What are my hobbies? And even within hobbies, you might have seen that throughout the question, how it played out was the answer that I gave, they would actually take up some part of it and ask a follow-up question. So whenever you are kind of giving an answer, try to form or frame it in a way that they will pick it up and ask a follow-up question, which is something that you already know. If you say something like, for example, in the Tawang question, if I would have said, museums or something, I'm sure they would have grilled me more on what is the historical significance of Tawang. So that is also one way to ensure that you are being asked the correct questions mostly. Apart from that, another thing that I was trying to do was that I was continuously telling them about my achievements. For example, I mentioned my lab work, I mentioned University of Cambridge, I mentioned really important client, income tax department. Now, it's of course upon them whether or not they take the cue, and in this interview it generally did not work out, but generally it does. So whenever you feel that anything is relevant, any kind of accomplishment, achievement is relevant, definitely bring that up, because that might lead to a better series of questioning, which kind of will work in your favor. So that is mostly it. I think personally this was a little bit of stress interview, especially they were just drilling me down a lot. And again, a few things that I learned out of it was that even though I had 2 years of work experience, I was still asked a lot about my own academics. And so wherever you are in your career, whether you have work experience or not, definitely ensure that you revise at least a little bit about your academics, so that you don't come across as totally unaware of what you had learned so many years. So definitely keep that in mind. Also, my interview happened very early. It happened on the 10th of February. So that was just about a month after the result came. And that is also one reason that, I was not fully prepared about it. But I had much better IIM Bangalore and IIM Calcutta interviews. So definitely subscribe and, keep an eye for the next few interview transcripts. Hope you liked it. In case you want to get in touch, there are all the links in description below. I am present on multiple social media platforms and I definitely interact a lot on all of them. So I guess I'll see you guys soon. I hope you liked it. Definitely put your feedback in the comments below. Bye-bye. See you soon.